4 years after the finale of the critically acclaimed and fan-favorite Avatar: The Last Airbender, its successor, The Legend of Korra, premiered on Nickelodeon across the globe. In this first episode, the new Avatar named Korra completes her firebending training, runs away to Republic City, meets more than one of the children of the original Team Avatar, and earns herself a new Airbending Master. Hey folks, my name is Antoine Bandele, your resident geek, giving you theories and discussion for all things Avatar, and today, let's drop right into this breakdown of The Legend of Korra Book 1, Air. Welcome to Republic City. The episode starts with a new intro in the same tradition as the previous series, Avatar: The Last Airbender. The previous version represented water by way of Pakku, the master waterbender from the Northern Water Tribe, Earth by way of an early version of Toph Beifong from the Earth Kingdom, Fire by way of Princess Azula of the Fire Nation, and Air by way of an unnamed airbender. We know the Earthbender is an early version of the companion Toph by way of a Toon Zone interview with Avatar co-creator Brian Konietzko, where he revealed that, quote, "The guy in the opening title sequence, the Earthbender, was kind of a prototype of Toph, but Aaron Ehasz, our head writer, just really pitched that she should be a girl, and actually, I fought it for a long time, but I totally came on board and now she's one of my favorite characters." What's more, the unnamed airbender is often mistaken to be Avatar Aang, but when slowing down the footage, we can see a mustache on the character, possibly indicating that this might be the younger version of Monk Gyatso, Avatar Aang's airbending mentor, who sported a unique mustache atop his lip. The Legend of Korra updates its introduction by including only avatars instead, with Earth represented by Avatar Kyoshi, Fire represented by Avatar Roku, Air represented by our first look at the adult version of Avatar Aang, and Water represented by our new protagonist, Avatar Korra. The episode continues with a brief explanation of the previous series. From left to right, we see Sokka of the Southern Water Tribe, Suki of the Kyoshi Warriors, Toph of the Earth Kingdom, Katara of the Southern Water Tribe, Fire Lord Zuko of the Fire Nation, and Avatar Aang of the Southern Air Temple. In the next scene, we see a full map of the unnamed world of Avatar legends. Each nation is represented by a phrase written in ancient Chinese script known as Seal script or Zhou script, as it was used during the Zhou dynasty from 1046 to 256 BCE. To the west, we see the Fire Nation depicted by red islands, with their ancient Seal script reading Huo Lie or Fire is Fierce. To the north and south, depicted by blue islands, we have the sister water tribes of the North and South Pole respectively, with their ancient Seal script reading Shui Shan, or Water is Victorious. Dominating the center of the map, we have the Earth Kingdom, with the ancient Seal script reading Tu Xiang, or Earth is Strong. And lastly, huddled between all the nations, depicted by the White Islands, we have the Air Temples, with their ancient Seal script reading Shi Ha, or Air and Peace are Harmonious. This image would be very familiar to previous fans of Avatar: The Last Airbender, until the camera pushes in to reveal a new sovereign state off the northwest coast of the former Earth Kingdom, now known as Yue Bay, named after the former princess of the Northern Water Tribe. Along Yue Bay is a new independent city known as Republic City, the capital of the United Republic of Nations, and the main focus of this episode. The United Republic was formed from the oldest Fire Nation colonies established during the previous major conflict in this world, the 100-Year War. A war waged by the Fire Nation which resulted in the genocide of the Airbenders and devastated most of the other nations, notably the Southern Water Tribe and the Western Earth Kingdom. The camera continues to pan to a large statue situated near Air Temple Island within Yue Bay. The statue depicts what seems to be an older teen or young adult version of Avatar Aang, likely when he founded Republic City. The episode continues in the South Pole, 4 years after the death of the previous Avatar, the air nomad Aang, who biologically passed away at the age of 165, though he appeared as an ordinary 66-year-old man. We know the age of Avatar Aang at the time of his passing by way of the Legend of Korra interactive online game called Welcome to Republic City. In this world, when one avatar dies, another is immediately born into the next nation in the cycle, meaning the next avatar will be found in either the North or South Pole, or perhaps somewhere in the United Republic. As the camera pans down, we see 3 members of the White Lotus. In the middle, we have a character who is simply known as the White Lotus Leader or the Grand Lotus, a position previously held by Grand Lotus Iroh of the Fire Nation. The other 2 members are also unnamed. Later, we get better looks at their faces, and judging from their top knots, the 2 White Lotus members likely hail from the Fire Nation, with the female perhaps having a parent from the Water Tribes, judging by her blue eyes, while their leader in the middle is simply from the Water Tribe. In the world of Avatar, ethnicity can usually be denoted by eye color, with Fire Nation people having gold, bronze, or brown eyes, Water Tribe with blue eyes, Earth with green or brown eyes, and Air with gray or brown eyes. It should be noted that the White Lotus is traveling to a secluded area of the South Pole, away from the more modern city known as Wolf Cove or Capital City near the coastline. This could be because they are investigating a report of a new avatar, and the family that made the call didn't want to be among a mass population, instead choosing a more quiet setting. Eventually, we get to a small collection of tents housing a family of 3, a father named Tonraq, a mother named Senna, and a 4-year-old daughter named Korra, the new avatar. The Grand Lotus at first is doubtful of the claim that Korra is the avatar, as he and his cohorts say they have investigated many claims both here and in the Northern Tribe. All have turned out to be false. Usually, the White Lotus would conduct several tests. For example, the Air Nomads often tested new potential avatars by having individuals select from a collection of toys that belonged to past avatars. The children who selected the correct toys were usually determined to be the next avatar. However, tests like these prove to be unnecessary, as the young Korra proves she is the avatar by bending 3 of the 4 elements: water, earth, and fire, an ability unique to the avatar and the avatar alone. 13 years later, we cut to 17-year-old avatar Korra during the final firebending test. Her audience includes the original White Lotus members who found her, including the Grand Lotus, who is now balding to depict the passage of time, her firebending master Yim, and an 87-year-old Katara, the widow of the previous avatar, Aang. Katara compliments that Korra is strong, to which the Grand Lotus states that she lacks restraint, excelling at the physical aspects of bending, but lacking in the spiritual. This will become an ongoing theme for Korra throughout the series. In fact, Firebending Master Yim initially had a hard time handling Korra when he first started training her years prior. Though reluctant, the Grand Lotus agrees that Korra is ready to move on from firebending to airbending under the guidance of the only Master Airbender in the whole entire world, Tenzin, the son of the previous avatar. After the good news, Korra goes to visit her animal companion, Naga, a polar bear dog. Many of the animals in the world of Avatar are hybrids of real-world animals, except for an ordinary bear who was a pet to the Earth King in the previous series. In the next scene, we see that Korra is sequestered within the confines of the Southern Water Tribe compound. For the majority of her youth, she only knows the walls of this place, as the White Lotus and the world at large are overly protective of their avatar, as their previous one went missing for 100 years, right at the start of a major war. Therefore, Korra's every move, even when she's allowed to roam the land, is closely monitored by the White Lotus sentries. Finally, Tenzin, the Airbending Master, arrives with his family: Jinora, the oldest, Ikki, the middle child, Milo, the youngest, Pema, his wife, and the unborn Rohan. All of Tenzin's children are airbenders, which is a handful for his non-bending wife who hopes their next child will be like her. All I want is one child like me, a nice non-bender who doesn't blast wind in my face every 5 seconds. Upon arriving, Jinora immediately asks her grandmother about her adventures from the previous series, notably asking if Katara and her friends ever found Zuko's mom. Many fans who only watched the television series never got the answer, but the story is depicted in the comic book The Search, which I reviewed in this video. Unfortunately, Tenzin brings bad news. He has important duties back in Republic City, which is under an unspecified turmoil, and cannot stay in the South Pole to train Korra. What's more, Korra is not allowed to leave the compound under any circumstances, so her airbending training will have to wait, potentially for a very long time. So, after Tenzin leaves for Republic City, Korra runs away with Naga and stows away on a trading ship headed for Republic City, but not before saying goodbye to her parents and getting a pep talk from Katara, who reveals that characters like her brother Sokka and others are gone. Aang's time has passed. My brother and many of my friends are gone. It's time for you and your generation to take over the responsibility of keeping peace and balance in the world. When Korra arrives at Republic City, she is amazed by the sprawling metropolis. The creators of the show say they were inspired by Hong Kong, Shanghai, and New York in the early 1900s, and they wanted Republic City to look like a bustling, industrial-age Asian steampunk city. Some fans have criticized the city as being too westernized for the show, though I personally feel the city is right in line with a show that is very much pan-Asian, particularly an Asian American work, a hybrid of the two cultures. After realizing she needs money to eat in Republic City, Korra finds herself at Republic City Park, where she plucks and cooks fish from the public lake, something she finds out later is very illegal. As she's feasting, she meets a vagabond named Gamu, who teaches Korra that big city living isn't all it's cracked up to be. Republic City Park is clearly an homage to Central Park in New York City. Chased away by local police, Korra happens upon a protest against benders. The protest advocates for a group called the Equalists, whose mission statement is equal rights and opportunity for all people in Republic City, not just the benders. Their leader is a mysterious man that goes by the name of Amon. On his poster, the seal script says Ping, meaning equal, and the side banners read, "Join the revolution." After a while, Korra gets herself lost in the city, eventually asking directions from an old woman hanging out near Kwang's Cuisine, near a phonograph store, but Korra runs into the Triple Threat Triads, one of the few gangs in the city that recruits every kind of bender. The other notable gangs are the Agni Kais, all firebenders, and the Red Monsoons, all waterbenders. Like many of the gangs in our own early modern society, such as the Mafia families in New York or the Yakuza of Japan, the Triple Threat Triads extort protection money out of local businesses. Korra, rightfully so, doesn't stand for it and brings the gang members down, but not before causing serious damage to the city block and sort of revealing that she is the Avatar by bending 3 of the 4 elements to do it. After her path of destruction, the police force of Republic City drops in to arrest the gang members and Korra for disturbing the peace. The police force is mostly made up of metalbenders, an organization put together by Toph Beifong, a former companion of the previous Avatar, Aang. Co-creator Brian Konietzko wanted the metalbending cops to look like they were wearing traditional samurai armor, blended with the military-style uniforms of New York City cops in the 1920s. Refusing to be arrested, Korra attempts to escape on the back of Naga, but the metalbending cops bring her down and throw her into a jail cell. The outside of the police station holds a giant statue of the former chief of police, Toph Beifong. Later, Korra is interrogated by the current chief of police, Toph's daughter, Lin Beifong. Eventually, Tenzin busts Korra out, covering all the damages caused by the young Avatar. Korra convinces Tenzin to let her stay in Republic City, as she sees that it needs her help due to the inequality and crime that is running wild in the metropolis. When it's formally announced that Avatar Korra is staying in Republic City, she makes a public statement of her intention to make Republic City a better place, and a certain cult leader says, "It looks like we'll have to accelerate our plans." If you want to learn more about the world of Avatar legends, like the early life of Avatar Kyoshi or Avatar Yang Chen, you can listen on Audible with a free trial using my personal code, which you can see on screen. Using my code helps support this channel and more videos like these. Thank you for watching, and check out the next video in this series, or share this one with a friend who might like it. And let me know, did you learn anything new? I'll catch you on the next one, and as always, peace, love, and remember, be water, my friends.